DJ Dewey Rock on the track.
Welcome to Immerse Podcast 360. I'm your host, Maserati. We want to thank you for tuning in. No matter where you are in this metaverse world, we're going to continue to bring you the best quality content and formula that we won't know how. We want to thank you for all the likes, shares, and subscriptions on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and now TikTok. Hey, this is a great episode. We want to thank you for joining us on this lovely Wednesday night of this portion of Community Garden. We got a very special guest in the building, and this portion of the show is being brought to you by Stepping Stones LLC, Burchell Family Insurance Agency, and Involved Social and Civic Club. Hey, we have one of our icons in the hip hop and music industry for this generation of my generation. He is a native of Morehouse Parish. He was born right here. He is the CEO of the Country Boys Music Group. He is an event planner. He's an event promoter at such clubs as Club Tequilla, Club Nuvvo, and Club X-Clusive. This is being sponsored by BroInc.com and Yo Looking Ass Entertainment. We have him in the building. It's Boss Jones. Lontrae Jones, excuse me. I'm so used to calling it Boss Jones. He's in the building tonight. Boss, how you doing, buddy?
How you doing? What's good? Good to be here, man. What's good? Good for having me, man.
Most definitely. We so honored to have you here. We see you doing big things in the community. Man, just kind of share with the people what's going on with you and how you grew up here in Morehouse Parish.
Well, first of all, born and raised right here. For all the people that's from Morehouse Parish, Colliston, Maroon, Bishop, a lot of y'all know me as Jen Val. You know what I'm saying? You go family-wise, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people call me Val. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people call me Boss. But you know what I mean? I'm at home, it's Val. So basically, I was born in Morehouse Parish, General Hospital. And, born and raised between Maroon and Colliston. My father's Roy Lee Jones of Colliston. My mother is Sherry Ann Jones, the late Sherry Ann Jones of Morehouse, Louisiana. And, I went to school at Morehouse Elementary, Colliston Elementary. Did a little bit of the Southside Elementary in Bastrop. Went to high school, junior high school, Delta, up to my sophomore year. Then I went to Raven High School for my junior and senior year where I played football, all state, all district, and went on to Grambling State University. And I got into, throwing parties and hanging out and stuff like that. And that's how I got to what I'm doing now.
Right, most definitely, and kind of share with the people about, you being a Delta, being a Delta graduate and a native of Delta in the rural area we know as the Bunity, but share with the youth and the people that may not be familiar with Old Val, as you mentioned, how it was at Delta High School.
Oh, man, back then, man, that was lovely. You had Coach Price. There was a coach at that time. He was my football coach for my freshman and sophomore year. Man, you had a lot of leaders. You had your bands, Pippi, David, my brother, of course, my older brother. Man, it was all about family. Like, you look around, it was family. It was fun. Like, you were looking forward to go to school. You was going to have fun, you know what I'm saying, we was at Delta. It was the community involved. I'm talking about it didn't matter if you had a loser season or a winning season, you were going to have at the Mustang Corral. And I don't think these kids will ever understand how, it didn't matter if it was 50, 20, 100, we all stuck together.
Right. And being from a rural area like that, family orientation is key to the culture. And I see you trying to bring that back. But, share with us, how was it, getting into the music industry and share with the kids about how old Valor, as they know as Boss Jones, how he started off in the music industry and entertainment?
Well, first, I think it was about, they're going to be like, ooh, tell my age now. And like 03, 04, my brother and we always used to sing. Our mama had us in church. I tell you like that. Everybody knew it was a C-time singing, winning talent shows, and, performing. My brother always had the lead, he was the lead vocal, you know what I'm saying? DeMondre Jones, my older brother, and Jason and Ed Ray White. We all had this group, and we used to just perform. And so I guess, music is in me, but not only that, we was raised singing in the church. Our mom always had us in church singing. So it just, music was always just in us, you know what I'm saying? So by me saying it in 03, 04, my brother was like, man, I can do this. He's like, man, so he was like just messing with me. Like, man, come on, start a label. And I don't know if people remember, we started this label called The Family. And he was dealing with, matter of fact, with the producer, the engineer, Dewey. Big shout out to Dewey. Dewey, he was one of the pioneers that actually convinced me to start dealing with music.
Oh,
because
really?
my brother never going up there to his studio. I was just running around, I was being me. I wasn't trying to hear what they were doing. So I was like, listen to him, Pat Jones, big shout out to my cousin Pat Jones. He was up there and they was just like, man, I'm telling you, because the way your mind think, man, you can start a label. Let's start a label. So we started doing The Family music, and I started putting out music with them. And the blessing from that was we put our music out. This guy out of Shreveport, So Slim Entertainment, Fresh, he had his own label. And he was like, hey, man, I like the way you doing your label. I wanna bring you on to run my label and actually do something. I was on the road with him for like 3 to 4 years, and that put me on a whole nother level with the music. See, people think when you're doing the music, they think your success comes from selling big records and all that. No, your success comes from staying longevity, staying in the music, doing it. A lot of people that you see, you know what I'm saying, you see that make it in the game, you don't see a lot of their name credit because they behind the scenes. And that's what I always been, behind the scenes. You will be surprised. You know what I'm saying? These young cats will be surprised. Future, Rick Ross, Plies, Baby, I talk to him daily whenever I, need to. From a young artist, Rob Beasley, a lot of these cats call. The latest cat I helped with that break, and a lot of people won't know, is Moneybag Yo. And how that came about, it was a guy from Bastrop, Terrell Bradshaw, called me. He was in Portland. He was talking to some guys, and he mentioned, it's crazy how it worked. He mentioned to this guy that was trying to break this artist, Zach Randolph, the basketball player for Endless Records. And he was like, man, they want, I'm going to give them your number to, to help with to get the song played in Northeast Louisiana. And like, when I did that and I seen that I can do it, man, I was like, you know what? That's what I need to be doing, that music, man.
Most definitely, and with that experience, it took you to new heights. But just you mentioned a few minutes ago about DJ Dewey Rock and your brother and others that got you involved. But what are some other pioneers in the music industry here locally throughout Northeast Louisiana that country boys looked up to and kind of made a camaraderie with?
Man, you had we was back then starting. It was, I want to make sure it's top of the South Records. Perry, I know Perry. You had Top of the South Records. I want to make sure I'm saying it right. You had who else was doing the music right before us? You had Dead Boys. You had I want to make sure I say it right. Across the Beach, I always say Antique, but you know what I'm saying, G Wayne,
Presidential.
Presidential, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure, you get it, interview in your mind and go blank. Presidential. All them cats had destruction. I was like, man, they can do it, and they had the grind. And I was like, you know what? Man, these people, I don't even know if these young cats even know, like, a lot of the music and sound that you hear nowadays came from here. They'll never believe because, it don't go forward because of, where we from, our rural area. But a lot of people come to our area to get broke. So the pioneers, like like I said, top of the South, top of presidential, and you know what I'm saying, like a dead boy gang. Like they really set a foundation, but you know where we from, we'll never know or they'll never believe because you know it never went as far as it could have went.
Right. And I think that's been kind of hunting Strop City. I say since the mid 90s, we had so much potential, and the boom was there. That was around the time you guys were doing your things. Around the mid kind of late 90s, everything was flourishing. You had a lot of different groups and artists out there doing their thing, but it never just kind of took flight. It was on the runway, but it never just actually took flight. Do you agree?
Yes, sir. Yeah, and I agree. And let me tell you, what was it? It's going down. Actually, it's going down from top of the South. I'm making sure. I hope I'm saying top of the South, top of the boot record. You know what I'm saying? I got to make sure top of the South record. Their record went for, and 22 Duke, my brother, and them, for the family when we were doing it. I always say them because I never wanted to be an artist, but they always tried to make me be an artist. The 22 record actually went for, the Go DJs had it all the way past Memphis. And I'm trying to see if I don't remember nobody else, but yeah, you know, we should have did something. I don't know how to ask Perry what happened, but we was in Dallas or Houston, and they was playing it. It's going down. They still play it.
Right. I think it's a DJ in Dallas. I think that's his intro music, if I'm not mistaken, over in Arlington, one of those little surrounding areas in the DFW. I remember hearing that quite often.
Okay. Yeah, see that?
Right, and you know we're gonna take an intermission, and we come back. We want to get into the different business ventures that you took up on. We know you guys started out in talent shows and entertaining here locally, but you guys took it to another level with the nightclub things, and you know you mentioned some of the artists that you have collaborated with. But we're gonna take an intermission, and when we come back, we want to kind of jump into that, and you give us some insight of the pros and cons really goes on behind the scenes in entertainment.
Yes.
We'll be right back with the legendary Lontrae Boss Jones, a.k.a. Val, a.k.a. the producer of Country Boys Music Group and Marketing, when we return after this intermission.
Immerse 360 Podcast focuses on uplifting rural and urban areas and dire conditions with no solutions by shedding light on pioneers, athletes, and political figures who have made an impression on Northeast Louisiana and surrounding areas. Immerse understands the social and civic needs to love, learn, live, and laugh. So tap in every Sunday and Wednesday at 8 p.m. on all social networks and platforms. Always remember, Immerse 360.
I am always dope boy fresh, dope boy. I am dope boy, dope boy fresh. I am dope boy fresh, dope boy fresh.
Welcome back to Immerse 360. This portion of the show is being brought to you by Morehouse Community Development, Bro Inc. Photography, and we'd like to give some shout outs to our Facebook supporters, Brass Section, Stardom Networks, Psycho Astronauts, Line Eye, Club, Planet Funk Skills, and Real Talk with Miss Nisi. Hey, and shout out to my guy, Roderick Green at Yo Ass Looking Entertainment. We're still here with Mr. Boss Jones, a Country Boys Music Group and Marketing, and he's going to share with us about what goes on the inside, behind the scenes in the music industry. Brother Jones, share with the youth about what they think they know.
Man, first of all, man, what you see, and when you see all the lights, the shiny lights, the shiny jewelry, the big cars and all that, man, look, don't believe everything you see. I'm gonna tell them youngsters that, like, you know, a lot of these artists, you got a lot of these artists, man, that I'm gonna say, maybe out of 100%, 60% might be living their life and 40 and that. But man, when I got into the club side and getting into the music entertainment, that's when I started learning, like, hey, man, that's why I don't take a lot of pictures with a lot of guys, because of some fact, when you meet them, you get a whole different aspect of an artist. You learn, like, hey, man, that guy just like me. Like, I'm trying to get my, my money, I'm hustling and doing business. Same thing you doing, then you start to understand. Some are all going to be on a great level with you, but you would not believe how they're not what they portraying to be, the gangster, the shooting, and And man, it's like I say, it's crazy. They're not what you think.
Right, and you being behind the scenes, and you had to set up and being an event planner and doing things of that nature, bringing in guests to the clubs, running the club, managing the club. How is it really when you be next to these guys and you can feel their spirit and see these really nice guys, but what they're portraying to the youth? How has that made you feel over the years?
Man, some we got to do something about it. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, like, Boosie who he is. You know what I'm saying? A couple times I, met Boosie, and he came and did a couple shows. Boosie who he is. So, you know what I'm saying? What you see is what you get with Boosie. Plies, real humble dude, real cool cat. That's the reason I'm on a picture with him, because I was, in my office working. I'll never forget it. And he came to do a show, and he was like, "Say, what you got going, man? Where you from?" And I guess, I don't know, he was just like, man, he wanted to talk to me. He was like, man, look, anything you need from me. And he always came through. I did 2 or 3 shows with, with Plies, and he was on some, man, down to earth, like, man, I love what you're doing at the club. I love the club. He was like, because we was in Monroe at the time. He was like, man, I would never expect it. He called it country. Of course, they all going to call our area country. He was like, man, I never expected, get this nice club, right here where I'm at. So, all these artists, it's good, bad, good, but the main thing I learned, dealing with them, hey, it's business. It's 100% business. These guys ain't messed up by being your friend. They don't want to be your friend. All you know is business. You're going to be all right, nigga.
Right, and that's getting down. I wanted to ask you next about the business side. We have the pros and the cons. When it comes to contracts and marketing and their things of that nature, the investment, the money that you have to put forth. A lot of kids don't understand that you have to invest in yourself, and it's not an overnight success. Kind of explain to them about the contracts and the marketing aspect of behind the scenes.
Okay, that's a great one. What they don't know is when they want to see these artists, for us, what they fail to realize, why a lot of these artists don't come, a lot of these artists that we want to see, by the time we want to see them or we own them, they want 30 to, that's a low end, 30,000 plus. You know what I'm saying? And you have to look at it as a promoter, event planner, anything in business. People have to understand that you can see 1,000 people, but 1,000 people are paying $20. That's $20,000. You know what I'm saying? And your artist with 30,000, you'd have lost 10,000, and that's not included in your radio promotion, your street team, your DJ, your security, your police. You know what I'm saying? Your door worker. And the bills. So when you see, when you getting into this game, people are always thinking, you just making money. Now, if you blessed, you just blessed, you can hit. But it's not like that, because where we at, they don't want to pay $20 or $25. So you have to, you have to take your picks and chooses on it. Because when you get to doing these contracts, first thing you want to do in the business, you want to get an artist that's good enough to attract people, but they want to spend for them. What I did learn over the course of the years, the artists that we want to see, the boosters. Like, for instance, after Boosie dropped this movie, I use Boosie a lot because everybody loves Boosie. But what they fail to realize, Boosie gonna cost you anywhere from $40,000 to $60,000. That's just his money. You know what I'm saying? We'll start with $40,000 to give you an example. He gonna want $40,000. You gotta send him $20,000 up front, and when he get there, he gonna want it $20,000. He don't care what you did, how you did it. So that's $40,000 you gotta be up with. If you get a venue, you got a decent venue, a good venue, they're going to cost you about $2,500, $3,500. You know what I'm saying? So then after that, you got to get the security. Most police officers and security guards going to cost you $30 to $45 an hour, just depending on how many doing. That's going to be automatic 4 hours. You just doing a 4-hour show. So it just adds up. DJs going to want anywhere from sound 2,000. DJs going to want $400, $500, $600 to DJ for. They're going to probably DJ an hour and a half, 2 hours. Like, all that adds up quick. So you can't do no $20 show, $10 show for the order that you want down here. And a lot of these cats don't see that. They thinking you can just, I'm going to get in this and do this. Man, it get tricky just depending on what kind of show you want.
You know, looking back over the time period that you guys have been doing it and the people that you looked up to and you pushed on and you kept that spotlight on Scrap City, and you really brought another atmosphere with the different clubs you guys were managing and running and operating. You brought a different spotlight to Northeast Louisiana. But, you know, looking back at it and looking at where you are now, why have you took the 360 turn that you're taking, and you focus is no longer with the entertainment? You're just solely on these kids. What brought that on, Val?
Man, be honest with you, man, my babies, you know what I'm saying? I got babies here. They don't want to leave. They here. They want to be here. And, as you know, when you work and doing, like I started coaching my first son, Kyrie, you know, I got him. That was, you know what I'm saying, woo. You know, like I say, once again, telling my age, you know what I'm saying? That's been, you know what I'm saying, 15 plus years, you know, coaching with the youth league and seeing how for Will back then, how all the parents, you know, showing up, supporting their kids, being there for their kids and pushing their kids to, you know, when I left and started doing a lot of things, going in the aspect to my daughter was born, my other son and my baby boy, you know what I'm saying, you know, you see the time shift. Like, you know, you're just seeing a big shift, and I'm like, dang. Because, you know, don't get me wrong, I still do, you know what I'm saying, the entertainment. I still do the, you know, the shows. I still do events. But the big 360 change now is like, hey, you know what I'm saying, the thing that's going on in the community, like, we're not giving our kids enough positive things to look forward to. We're not, you know what I'm saying, and I'm just really speaking for me, you know what I'm saying? You know, just looking at, like, I don't know why the things are not there for them, but it was like, if I can do something, if I can, you know, bring anything to, you know what I'm saying, get them thinking about something positive, that what made me go hard like I'm going right now. Like, you know, God just really just, I ain't gonna tell no story, like, God just put something in my heart, gave me a vision to say, hey, you know what, don't worry about what nobody is doing. You know what I'm saying? Get focused. Do what you know how to do. I've been doing entertainment. I've been doing marketing for all this time. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, let's switch it up. And you know what I'm saying? Let's do it.
Right. You know, and you know, just looking at, you know, I know you've been doing the Pee Wee football coaching. You helped out with basketball. You always, since your kids, like you say, were younger, and even after they left out of the programs, you still help coach and do various things. You know, looking at it, what do you think it's going to take to bring the necessities and the programs and, you know, get the people in the morale of the community to get behind the kids and see that they are the way?
Us actually just start doing it. We're going to have to start worrying about who doing what, who ain't doing what, and take, you know what I'm saying, the people that want to do something, know how to do something. You know what I'm saying? Let's just do it. Like, you can't worry about, like, what I hear and what I see around here, like, I can't explain it. Like, I think it was probably about 2 years ago when you seen, you know, you were talking about when I was just getting involved, because all you hear around here is negative. So, you know, I'm like, man, what can we do? So, you know, the first thing I had to learn and realize is that how you got to stop worrying about what's going on negative. Because as you know, you can't jump off a car with a negative, a battery that's dead, a battery dead. You know what I'm saying? We can't tell you to hook up to get up out of no boost off. It takes, you know what I'm saying, a brand new battery to spark a dead battery. So we got to be that spark to any kid that's out here. Like, I hear a lot of people saying, man, you can't do this. Why barrel strip? You know, why this? Like, I get calls now, like, hey, bring this to this area, do this to this area. And you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I was born and raised. Like I said, I was born and raised here. Carlson, Maru, Bonita. my thing is, hey, it's time for us to just quit talking, quit waiting on. I mean, I know people want me to get a 501(c)(3). I'm gonna do that. But my whole thing was like, let's just do something. If people gonna help, if people gonna do something, they gonna do it. It don't take a rocket scientist to say, all right, I'm gonna focus on trying to help the community, help these kids. Because all of them work together. You know what I'm saying? We got to help the parents. We got to help, the parents help their kids. It's a whole chain, you know what I'm saying, that needs to be done. We're skipping like 2 to 3 generations. Like, for instance, a lot of things we got to figure out how to put God back into these kids' life. And when I say God, that's love. And people be failing to realize, they be like, this and this. If you know God, if you know what I'm saying, anything about, being raised as a Christian or raised up in the church, God is love. They always told you, come as you are. It's time for us to realize that and put love back into it. I understand it's bad everywhere. But, right now, if we don't say, this is what I'm going to do, it ain't going to never happen. We're going to continue to wait on somebody to do this, somebody to do that, somebody to do this, somebody to do that. Me personally, it's just time for us to step and just get it done.
Right. You spoke about the negativity, and you're right on with what you're saying about Just Do. One of my favorite guys, shout out to Hollywood. Everybody know old Hollywood. He always told me, man, you're a verb. You're about action. You have to be about action. And that's the only thing you're saying. We got to be about the action. But, you spoke on the negativity. What is your pet peeve when you hear the negative comments and things on the social media and various things from people that are no longer here, as we say, with their feet and hands in the mud with us?
With that, when people fail to realize for dealing with marketing, they might not know it. But the people that's not in Bastrop, if you know what I'm saying, I know if you're from Bastrop, you love Bastrop. If you saying anything bad about Bastrop or putting it on social media, we know stuff happens. When they do it, they fail to realize they give a negative ear or a negative vision to people that ain't never been to Bastrop and probably won't come to Bastrop because of them. You know what I'm saying? They can be in Dallas or they can be in Atlanta, wherever you at. You can be a shooting can happen, and the same shooting could have been happening in Monroe and Tallulah, Lake Park, anywhere. But with us as Morehouse Parish and Bastrop, the negative kill us every day. Because the reason I say that with the marketing, as of late, you know what I'm saying, so many people been reaching out. There's so many jobs available, so many things available. But us, I'm going to say us, you know what I'm saying, we seem to play, everybody do it, but a lot of people don't realize that, man, we be killing us. We talk ourselves out of a lot of things. Like, it's a lot of jobs, a lot of people want to come to Morehouse Parish. But we got to start with the niggas. Like, we got to start talking about the positive things that's going on in Morehouse Parish. I understand that the negative is a lot of negative going on. But like as of late, there's a lot of positive things going on. You got the Gentleman Club that started at the high school. You got the girls softball team doing great. You got kids actually doing. I don't care if they lose or what. The football team, they still competing. They going to play. Like, we got to start acknowledging everything positive going on and push a positive road here.
Most definitely. And this, like you say, the marketing aspect of it, the value, how the outlook of the value of the city is looked up on through social media. And like you said, we're painting a negative picture about the city, and it's not all that bad. Like you say, things happen throughout the country, but we can only control those things we can control. We can't control Baton Rouge. We definitely can't control Washington, but we can control the narrative here in Scrap City. And just like you said, Brother Val, it's just time to do. And one thing I want to ask you, what has you seen in, let's say, the last 5 years that kind of gave you a niche of figuring things out where you needed to head it to be?
That's a good one. The last 5 years, and it's been about that long if you think about it. Let me see. 2 of those years was the COVID. You know what I'm saying? So, that if you ain't think during COVID, I don't know what you did. But, you know what I'm saying, out of the 5 years, and, man, it's so much stuff. But I'm going to give you this, though, Odom. And I got to say, Odom, because, man, we have to start telling these kids or showing these kids a different way, a different outcome. Like, we all... Like, I'm going to use myself, for example. You know what I'm saying? We all, I go to church. You know what I'm saying? I live my life. Because at first, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I started January. I've been going to church every Sunday. At first, I had this problem. I was thinking, you know what I'm saying, the way people judging. I was like, man, I'm doing these clubs, doing these parties, stuff. I had, I was born and raised in church. I got away from it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I had got away from it, because I like, people ain't gonna do nothing because people talking about me, people saying this about me, because you know what I'm saying, I got a club or I do parties, I do shows, you know what I'm saying, and the first thing you gotta do, as people or us and for the community, man, we gotta change our mindset. You know what I'm saying? The mindset gotta be changed from like from us all the way down to the kids, from the kids all the way to us. And with that being said, that's the main thing. You know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure I stay on point, because I be getting frustrated about that. I want to stay on that point because there's so much stuff that, you know what I'm saying, going on. It's like, how do we even tackle it? How do we even, handle any of these issues? And like I was telling you, like we just said, we got to start with it. We just got to start. So with that being said, like, I don't get into no politics. I don't get into no, me and you was having the conversation with my told you, I was like, I ain't trying to be some people will say I'm an activist and all that. I think me and my partner Didi, we talking about that, like, I ain't no activist. You know what I'm saying? My thing, I'm a person that's concerned. I'm a concerned uncle. I'm a concerned daddy. I'm a concerned cousin. I'm a concerned brother. You know what I'm saying? And when do we all become a concerned parent, brother, uncle? Because I'm going to give you a good example. Like with the things that's going on, when we gonna start realizing? And tell me, if this not true, when we gonna start realizing? Like people say, well, I ain't worried about what's going on over there because it ain't happening here. You know what I'm saying? So meaning that my child good, my child don't fight, my child don't do this, my child don't do that. So you know what I'm saying? But not knowing that our good kids, great kids, are gonna suffer. Because we're not paying attention to who, you know what I'm saying, they hang with or can be around. Because, you know what I'm saying, until we all care about our kids or we care about what everybody got going on, you know what I'm saying, that narrative is never going to change for us. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just speaking on Morehouse Parish, speaking on Bass. Because one thing tell me this, we got to come together as Morehouse Parish first to be Bass. And that might going to go over some people's head. Do you know how many people still, I didn't even know this, do you know how many people still separate themselves and act like, I ain't from Bass, I'm from here. I ain't from college move. Like, man, we got to become one and figure out how to get on one accord first to even fix Bass, because Morehouse Parish is Bass and Bass is Morehouse Parish.
Most definitely. And, we being the county seat for the parish and the main city, you would think the focus would be on funneling the city that had the big industry and the market for growth. But somewhere the ball is being dropped and the message is not making it, I'll say, to the proper people, for the lack of better words or expression, and I think that's where we're at. It's a gap that we're trying to fill, and I think you're doing a great job with trying to fill that gap. And I want to share with the people about what you have going on with the Crawfish Festival that you're bringing back. And I want you to share with us about what you have going on with that after we take this intermission and share with the people how they can participate and be a part of when we come back, brother. Is that cool?
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool with me.
We'll be right back with Boss Jones, and we're going to talk about the 2K, the all-new Crawfish Festival that's going down in Scrap City when we return after this intermission. Welcome back. Thank you for staying tuned in. This portion of the show is being brought to you by Miss Sequisa Gibbons of Above Average Healthcare in Carthage, Texas. And shout out to Restoration of Hope Community Activity Center in Scrap City, Louisiana. We're still here with Lontrae Boss Jones, a.k.a. Val. I'm going to say one of our up and rising community activists here locally in Morehouse Parish in Scrap City. When we left for intermission, Brother Val, you were sharing your points on your feelings of why you took the 360 degrees and the things you would like to see happen with the community coming together as one. But kind of share with them about what the events you have coming up now, because you on to something else. You always got your hands into something trying to rekindle this fire. Share with us about the Crawfish Festival that's coming up.
Got you, man. Yeah, the Morehouse Parish Crawfish Festival 2K23 is going to be at the MAC. And how that came about was actually, I think I dropped the first post about it in December. And how that came about it was I was talking to a gentleman, and he was like, hey, man, all you know how to do, and it's funny. He's like, man, all you know how to do is parties and clubs. You don't know how to do nothing where, you know what I'm saying, get the whole community involved. You know what I'm saying, where everybody, like how I used to do back in the day, the older cat, and I had to laugh at first. You know, I kind of got mad, but I didn't really understand what he was saying. But when he said that to me, you know what I'm saying, I prayed on it, went, talked about it. You know what I'm saying? Thought about it. And I was like, you know what? I was like, yeah, I'm going to answer his question for him. And I remember how the Crawfish Festival used to come. And I remember how, you know what I'm saying, everybody used to look forward to that in the festival. And as we were putting this together, I kind of find out that a lot of reasons of things don't happen here because, you know, for as they were saying, wasn't enough support, which I totally don't agree with. And it was like, that's why they stopped, you know, doing the Crawfish Festival. And the fair actually ran to a guy about it. We actually got a challenge going on. You know, he was like, if you, you know, you can prove that, you know what I'm saying, the festival can go good, we'll bring the fair down though. So, you know, with all that being said, you know, I was like, man, you know what, let's just put something together for everybody. I'm talking about if you're a newborn all the way up to you 67, 70 years old, you want to get out. You know, I don't care, 89, you just want to get out. I was like, one thing I noticed, and way in December, January, people were talking about crawfish. So I'm like, all right, how we do this then? I remember it was a total show. You know, rodeo wasn't big back in the days. You know what I'm saying? We was coming up. That's one of the main things going on around here. You got about 4 or 5, you know what I'm saying, rodeo pins around here, and that's what they do. So I took that, the crawfish, and then I was like, the guy was saying something for your family. And I was like, you know what, they just make it a 3-day event, you know what I'm saying, and cover everything you can do. So with your family, they rodeo, eat some good food, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, and go to church, you know what I'm saying. We got every phrase, as I can say, every phrase of category that you would think about for this festival. Now, the question that was asked to me was like, why Bass? Why you doing that in Bass, man? Ain't nobody, blah, 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 blah. Man, look, reason I chose to bring it back to Morehouse Parish as a marketing person, as an event planner, why we can't have something to start something new? You know what I'm saying? Meaning, why we can't have people want to look for us, Morehouse Parish, Bastrop, to say, hey, in Easter, I'm going to the Crawfish Festival. You know what I'm saying? I ain't worried. That's not worried about anything negative, because negative don't come. Why we can't get people to want to come back home to Bastrop? Why we can't get people that's in Bastrop want to support Bastrop? Because as a marketing person, as an event planner, what I've noticed, we take all our money to Watchtower Parish, we take all our money other places. And that's why a lot of the things can't be accommodated down here. I don't know who you know what I'm saying, supposed to handle that or do that. But in my eyes, I'm like, hey, let's make this work and start it for, every year.
Right. And I see that you guys are doing a great job with it. It's going down April the 7th, 8th, and 9th. People, it's the rodeo that Friday. Then it's Family Fun Day, the actual Crawfish Festival, feasting on crawfish all day from 12 to 7. And then that Sunday, people, you got the car, truck, bike, and dog show. $10 admission all 3 days, or $20 get you in for all 3 days. And this is sponsored by my boy Cooper at Kick Thrones here in Scrap City, Louisiana. Brother Val, we always like to ask our guests before we let them go, looking through a glass, last comment, last thought, last projection. What would you like to share with your beloved Scrap City and Morehouse Parish?
Man, if you was born and raised here, if you still living here, and if you from here and you care about it, like, we just got to come together. You can inbox me, reach me on Facebook. You can get in touch with the podcast. All of them to get in touch with me. I don't care who still want to be involved. Like, we all need to get involved and do it. Like, it's a lot of talk, about what they're going to do, this and that. Hey, let's stop talking and come together and figure out a plan. If you're playing a better plan, I'm with it. And saying it, I'm glad you said I want to address this, and I want to address this on the podcast. And I pray everybody need to share this and get this out. Like, for us, like, the people, if you're not doing that and you're not going to do that, man, can you please, like, keep your comments to yourself or get a better understanding of what people doing? And I have to say this because a lot of people that we talking about on social media, man, we got to stop being our own worst enemy, because we will downplay Morehouse Parish and Bastrop so fast to the point where there's 10 more strikes to other people not wanting to be involved. If you don't want to do that, like, don't do that. Don't say that. Don't even, like, I know it's a free world, free speech. I understand it. But, man, man, I just really wish, I know you can't, I just really wish we can get rid of the negativity or the negative, mind and Bastrop and grow. Because I promise you, from what I've seen, what I've learned, what I know, we can turn Morehouse Parish around on our own. And that's one of the main reasons, like I said, for the Crawfish Festival. Because if you notice, I did in the summer camp, we did 100 kids plus kids, and that was top of the boot, district man, Dal Green, councilman, family, Olive Grove, New Olive Grove, church, number 2, New Olive Grove, number 2. Like, they will feed, like, Pastor William, big shout out to him and his church family. We had a couple of preachers come out there, Pastor Douglas, he was a part of it. Like, if I left your name out, something like that, I don't mean no harm, but we need more people that are serious about turning it around. You can reach me at 318-614-2360. And you know what I'm saying? I want all help. I wish everybody to get along and figure out how to make it better. And I don't, what I'm saying? Anything negative, God bless you.
Most definitely, brother. And, we support you. And man, I'm going to just tell you straight up, I'm proud of you. We were all little boys at one time coming up, out that rural area, Bonita and Colliston, Marouge and Bastrop, and the collaboration is now, there's no more Delta, things are not what it used to be. It's Bastrop now. The Bunady is in Scrap City, and brother, I'm proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing, and anything here at Emerge 360 that we can help you do, don't hesitate to call and ask us for help. Hey, we're going to be out there anyway with my boy Dominique Robinson, y'all, with those freaky tamales. Y'all remember that? Dominique, the freak, is going to be out there with those freaky tamales. Hey, Boss Jones.
Yes, sir.
Bro, we proud of you, Emerge, man. And, bro, we want to get back with you again. We're going to start having a panel and a platform where we can start coming together with like minds and coming up with some solutions for old Scrap City.
I'm with you. I'm on board, man. Whatever y'all need me for, man. Hey, I'm here. Let's work.
Already. Hey, we're going to get back with you real soon, man, and we're going to go ahead and close this thing out. Hey, we want to thank you guys for dropping through. That was Boss Jones of Country Boys Music Group. We want to let you know this portion of the show has been brought to you by 44 Million ENT, and we want to give a shout out to my boy G Wayne the Hustler. Hey, until next time, y'all stay involved. Y'all be encouraged. G Wayne, take them out. And most of all, y'all stay immersed. We out of this thing.
I understand you want to get your money and all. Pay attention. But you better try to do that shit and stay free at the same time. This shit real. Got the boys up all night, pulling USA. Up before the sunrise, the early bird get paid. Blue suits on the block, you gotta try to stay safe. Wanna make $1 million, build a mansion by the lake. 50 slab to them keys, in my dream, a nigga straight. Slow motion better than no motion, I sit back and wait. Shit, don't tell itself, and I drop my shit straight. On the block all day, the task force get to know your face. Ain't no talking on phone, I ain't got time for a case. I know rule you can use, or you can do it your way. Them best friends, they get jealous, and they have so much to say. They get locked up, all they wanna do is talk to DA. Them niggas always claiming real, most likely bitch made. Patience is virtue, moving fast, you miss shit right in your face. Gotta keep it cool, safe, and stay paid. The same rules apply every day. I know you trying to get paid, young niggas set your pace. You ain't gotta be in the lead for the whole damn race. Just lay back, pay attention, get your knots okay. Your time gon' come, you'll see, just wait. Time gon' make them niggas believe when you come in first place. Just know the money ain't shit when you got life in the cage. Ain't about who pay for the longest, it's about who's still here to play. Moving that yay, get your pay, but keep it cool, safe. Burning the cars, you tripping out like them boys on that mojo. Sitting in jail waiting on your day. I swear that life ain't no joke. I got niggas doing fed that ain't coming home no more. Trade the freedom for money, they will happily go broke. I got niggas living kitchen, cooking drop for the J. Water for the ballers, won't live life no fucking way. Shit you should know about this game, better find out before you play. Most of these niggas ain't by no mail, they just in the way. No way ain't got no business knowing every move you make. She ain't no being the main damn witness for the state. If them feds snatch your ass, you damn near do day for day. Blueprint, no J. Food for thought, no play. Coming down the interstate, do the speed limit. Don't smoke, don't drink, drive safe. Nobody know when you come and go. Well, you might be okay. Young nigga, move that yay, but keep it cool, safe. Gotta keep them hating ass niggas up out your face. Know you trying to get paid, young nigga, set your pace. You ain't gotta be in the lead for the whole damn race. Just lay back, pay attention, get your knots okay. Your time gon' come. You'll see, just wait. Time gon' make them niggas believe when you come in first place. Just know the money ain't shit when you got life in the cage. Ain't about who pay